this afternoon we will be enjoying a little bit of time in Star Citizen. Specifically, it's Invictus Flight Week. Let's take a quick look at what that's all about, shall we? The Invictus Launch Week is a week-long celebration of the United Empire of Earth's military might. There, every couple days, we will see a showcase of starship manufacturers that build ships for the military. Today, and technically yesterday as well, we have Roberts Space Industries, Origin Jump Works, Consolidated Outland, and Argo Astronautics. Starting tomorrow, they will display the starships of Aegis Dynamics. A couple days after that, we have the trifecta of Crusader Industries, Tumbrel, and Misk, and those will be very popular days, I think, because both Tumbrel and Crusader have brand spanking new vehicles to show off and rent. More on that momentarily. After that, Anvil Aerospace will showcase its small legion of starships. And then we downgrade substantially by looking at Drake interplanetary starships, suitable for, scummy pirates and the like. And the last couple days of the event will basically be free flight for everything. And yes, I did say free flight, because as of today, if all you need is an account to play the game, you don't need to purchase a pledge. You don't have to do anything about that. You just have to have the download, and you will be able to try the game out. In fact, if you really haven't anything about this, if you don't have an account at all, here's my referral code, because, nothing says streaming like shilling. This basically will entitle you to an extra 5,000 UEC into your account when you purchase a package, and I think there's still a promotion going on where you can get a lifetime insured Aurora ES, which admittedly is a garbage ship, but it can be upgraded as you go along, so it'll keep the lifetime insurance, so hey, why not? Alright then, let's go to the game. To go to the exhibit halls, you have to be on New Babbage on the World of Microtech. I happen to conveniently log in there, so it's almost as if I prepared for this. Crazy, I know. And this will be a good primer on how you get to the hall from the habitation area. Luckily, it's pretty simple. Even if you come to New Babbage from another location, you'll be able to go to the spaceport, go on the metro loop. Sooner or later, you will end up at the exhibit halls. It's not complicated. But since we're here, I might as well go through it. There's also a couple other interesting events going on at the same time here too, and we will get to that as we get closer. At every major location in New Babbage, you've got a link to the Architect Metro Loop. And it's basically your monorail subway sort of thing. And you'll see plenty of signage here that says Invictus Launch Week. Even though we have a guy here who is apparently desperate to walk through that wall. At the Tobin Convention Center. And as you can see, Star Citizen is still a game with more bugs than the Starship Troopers movie. I use that line a lot. That's because it never stops being wrong. Star Citizen remains in an alpha development, so if you cannot psychologically handle it,
careful, doors are now closed.
You're really in the wrong game here. Now, this was giving me a display a moment ago about Invictus, and I'm kind of curious about it because, yes, here we go. As you can see, there is a schedule for Invictus where you will see the capital ships of the Empire rolling through at various locations. And it looks like it's going to be another hour before by Genie Point. So I'll have to make sure that as we get closer to the 2 o'clock Eastern hour, I will be sure to go to Argo, where we can see the massive capital ships, and, as a special bonus, get to take a walking tour of one of those capital ships, the Javelin Destroyer. Am I here?
The capsule will be leaving the station momentarily.
No, I'm fine. I wasn't sure if I was at the Commons or at the exhibit hall. So as you can see, we've got plenty of the paraphernalia here. The United Empire of Earth's Navy. And they kind of go all out. Now last year, Invictus was being held at Area 18 on the world of Argo at the convention center there, and I really thought that Invictus would be there this year too, but I guess they wanted to get as much mileage as possible out of the Microtech Convention Center. That's okay, I can live with that. Now, this area is the main lobby. We've got nice little exhibits here.
Is that the Navy doesn't excel based
tribute to a naval rescue operation.
as a team working together.
More to the point, we have merchandising. You can pick up Invictus T-Shirts for a modest amount of credits. And thanks to the way this game tends to destroy clothing when a major patch lands, my goal is to make as many purchases as possible so that if the worst should happen, I will still have shirts available. I did not know this last year, and a good chunk of my gear went bye-bye. I was not happy. And I mean seriously not happy. You'll also see gear from the manufacturers. We've got Aegis, we've got RSI, we've got pretty much everybody here. Argo Aeronautics, Animal Aerospace. You can see they've got the advertisements for the Navy here, recruitment centers. If we go back here, we get into some of the really good stuff. I mean, we've seen the shirts, but you also have Invictus caps, and my personal favorite, Invictus flight jackets. And that was what really hurt to lose last year as far as I was concerned, because they're nice jackets. Perspective check. Here we are. I am already wearing some of the Invictus gear because I was online yesterday and I picked some up. There was some good news released by CIG, the folks who developed Star Citizen, in case you don't already know, that anybody who logs in and attends the Invictus Flight Week, at the end of the flight week, will receive one of these jackets in their hangar, their pledge hangar. So you will always have the flight jacket. You don't even have to worry about purchasing it in the RSI store. You will have it right there. And I think that's just great. But since it wasn't going to be given to us till the end of the event, I figured I'd grab the jacket anyway. They're not horribly expensive. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the interesting things on the main lobby here. I mean, you've got this guy here, but I don't think he actually tells you anything. No, he's just kind of standing there lonely at the keyboard, wondering, can I talk to anybody? Will anybody talk to me? And people would probably talk to him more if you could actually interact with them. Rough break. Alright. The fun stuff occurs in the back, where we have a bank of elevators. Now, it'll always have the expo lobby and whoever's showing off today. It's being called the RSI Hall, even though we have three other manufacturers involved today. RSI is the biggest of the batch, so I guess it gets top billing.
Duty, tradition, service.
And we have this nice big hologram.
While at Invictus, take a moment to honor all naval starmen, past, present, and future, for faithfully defending the Empire.
Yeah, you can tell they've got the whole patriotic military theme going here.
Celebrate those who are about to embark on their journey in the UEE.
And over here, we have the recruitment center. I can't help but notice that there's nobody actually manning the desk. Come on, guys.
Hello and welcome.
And you have little testimonials here about the experience of being a part of the Navy. And we seem to have a number of things here too. Keep in touch with the fruit. People who are hogging the displays here. Rude of them, aren't they? And we'll be nice and polite and we'll take the stairs because that looks way too slippery to be walking on. And we enter the exhibit hall. If you find yourself hungry or thirsty while you're visiting, you can attend Coffee to Go here and pick up some drinks and some food, which I don't think they had available last year. Of course, I don't think they had the eating and drinking stuff last year. However, and this is a personal gripe of mine, and I'm still not happy about it, you can see your fruit, you can see your drinks, you can see your burritos, but you still can't get coffee. Hey, Legend and More, how are you doing today? I hope your days are going well today. And how many times can I say day in the same sentence? Hope all's well on your end of the monitors. You just caught me ranting about the lack of actual coffee at Coffee to Go. One day, we will have coffee. And as for your blue drinks, Legend, I'm sorry, but the closest you're going to get to blue is Vestal water. That's why I drink tea. Yeah, well, sadly, I don't think they have any tea in here either. You are stuck with the standard Pips, Flood energy drinks, or extra caffeine. And I think some of the fruits will give you some hydration, which is interesting. Makes a certain amount of sense. But no? No? I don't remember Flood. Is that new? Well, you know what? I don't actually remember it either. Maybe it is new. Let's take a look at the information on it, shall we? It has HEI 18, so it's got some sort of decent hydration. However, it also has dehydrating effects, which means it's not going to hydrate you very long. And cognitive boosting, which... well, what the heck does cognitive boosting do? Luckily, the journal can tell you everything you need to know. Cognitive boosting encourages brain function by allowing additional focus while performing complicated tasks. My vocals are kind of quiet. How about you, Maura? Do I sound quiet to you, or do I sound relatively normal? I understand that some streamers have been having issues with their audio lately. I may have to do some boosting here. Let's see. How does it sound now? I don't know if it's any better. I'm just tinkering a bit with the Streamlabs and hoping that it's better. It's also possible that the background noise is overwhelming me. Input is always welcome to let me know whether or not my voice can be heard decently. In the meantime, you can see that we have little details about the Invictus launch week, and this tells you pretty much everything you need to know about Invictus. In 409 years since Invictus began. That is a pretty lengthy amount of time. Allows people to see the cutting-edge military technology, awe-inspiring ships that serve the Empire, and allows the UEE to honor the latest naval graduating class and celebrate the new recruits. And they want new recruits. Now over here, we've got the map display, which is being hogged by NPCs again. Come on, people. And it looks like we have things below us, in front of us, and off to the back right. So, what do we have for RSI's military complement? You're still having trouble hearing me, Legend? I was hoping that I'd got it fixed a bit, but I might have to bump even further. Or drop the audio on everything else. Well, you know, you win, you lose. Knock that down, knock that down. Yeah. I just need a bit more input to have a decent idea. That's a problem with audio, you can never really tell. Or you could just be, you know, losing your hearing. It happens when you get older. You can rent... Okay, maybe I should pause there when we're talking about renting. Every ship available on the days for certain manufacturers can be rented for free for, I think, 2 days? I think it's 2 days. So for example, this over here is the Rsi Mantis, an interdiction ship. It basically is out there to stop people from getting away. Yeah, could be that too. So I don't have this thing, so if I interact with it and do the rental here, I will see that it rents for absolutely 0 credits. So, yay. So we're going to rent that, and I'll be able to access it through the vehicle retrieval terminals at the spaceport. Now we've also got a number of the Constellation Starships that are arguably the, I can't say flagships, but when you think of RSI, they want you to think of the constellations. Now, this one is one I'm not entirely sure why it's even here. Because this is the Constellation Phoenix. And the Phoenix is the luxury variant. Now, I'd like to take a pause for a second. Why would they be showing off a luxury ship in a military expo? There's nothing even remotely military about it. And I will prove it by renting it. I'm not going to rent the other ones, though, because they're pretty similar, and I already have the Andromeda from an in-game purchase. I blow people up in style. I think that this one is the... And I've heard it pronounced Aquila and Aquila, so, you know, I'm not entirely sure about the exact pronunciation. It depends on whether it goes with a Spanish accent or a Latin accent. I'm kind of inclined to go with a Latinish because, I mean, Phoenix, Andromeda, Taurus. Let's see, the Phoenix has the same pilot guns as the others, half the missiles, and 2 turrets. Well, it's a luxury ship with teeth. But I'm still dubious if you can really consider a ship with a hot tub a military vessel. I mean, come on. Around the sides here, you'll notice that there are a bunch of weapons being showcased. And we're not really going to go around them. They were all here during the expo back in November, and apparently that hasn't changed much. Now over here is interesting, because this is a ship that nobody can fly in the game right now. This is the F-8 Lightning. Theoretically, as far as the military is concerned, this is replacing the Hornet, and it is the top line. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. This is going to be the top line fighter craft. Oh, how about that? My auto shilling has kicked off for a change. Who'd have thunk it? If you like what you're seeing in this game so far, you want to make an account, go ahead and click that link. It uses my referral code, so you can benefit by getting free credits and possibly a free ship. I don't know if that promotion is still going on or not, but I think it is. In any event, the only people who can fly this ship is nobody. It's not available. Now, if you're high enough on the concierge list by spending, oh, I don't know, your soul, then you will eventually get access to a special edition of this starship, and I think you'll also get access to it if you complete the Squadron 42 game. Of course, since Squadron 42 is also still in development, that means nobody will be flying this for a long time. But hey, it's something to look forward to. Alright, we're going to go over to the exhibit hall back here. And here we have one of the nice little displays here, where you can see the oath that all the new recruits take when they join the UEE Navy. And I want to say there's another display somewhere, but I probably missed it. Now, we might see it when I come back out. Or I might be misremembering, which is perfectly possible. We'll start from right to left, shall we? Over here we have Argo Aeronautic? Astronautics and their representatives. And these are, well, they're tugboats. Or maybe shuttles. This one's for cargo. This one's for cargo. Huh, are they only doing cargo for this? I guess they are. I would have included the standard shuttle personally that carries passengers, because I would think that would be pretty important from a military standpoint too. Any event, these guys are very tiny things, and they don't even have a quantum drive, which means everywhere they go is basically local. Unfortunately, you need a quantum drive in order to set courses. So if you want to try to take one of these guys from, say, New Babbage over to Port Tressler, it's going to be tricky because you have no quantum drive to point you to where Port Tressler actually is. So, you know, that's a hazard. Over here, we have the representative from Consolidated Outland, the Mustang Delta. Now, I will rent this. It's basically a light fighter. It's not the same as the Mustang Alpha, which is one of the starter ships. And we'll see exactly how it compares as we fly. It's amazing how many of these people are hogging these display areas. Hey, buddy, move out of the way. Can't go toe-to-toe with some of the military-specific ships, but it apparently does okay. I'll smack some of these people around. It's a good thing we're in an armistice zone. And finally, the last name you would expect to associate with military vessels, Origin Jump Works. Noted mostly for their luxurious offerings. But some of their offerings have teeth, such as this, which is the 125 Alpha, which is basically a kind of starter fighter. They claim it's a starter fighter, but they usually don't have starter packages available for it, except on occasions like today. Who can understand the thought processes of CIG's marketing? And then over here, we have the 325 Alpha. There we go. And it's a bit of a bigger ship. It's still a light ship, but it's an interdictor, which means it's fast. Relatively fast. And that takes up all the manufacturers available here right now. Now, tomorrow, all of this will be gone, and it will be replaced by the next guys on the list, which I believe was Aegis Dynamics. Alright, there is one more place I want you to go. Silly, silly me. We've been looking at the present. But now, we're going to take a look at the future. Okay, technically, Star Citizen is already in the future, but we're talking about the future of the future. I can do redundancy like nobody's business. We're going to head downstairs. And we can see a couple of the other little military vehicles down here. RSI is also responsible for the Ursa rover. Until recently, the most dangerous wheeled vehicle in the game. That changed recently. However, they're not on display until Wednesday. You can't win them all. Now, if I recall correctly... here we go. Over here, you can get a decent timeline of the whole Invictus event. Or perhaps, I guess almost like a naval history. 2541, the First Terran War starts. First Invictus, 2542. I find it interesting that they set it for October at that point in time. I guess they moved it to May later on. And you got a decent little history about Invictus in general, including some of the nastier points in time, like when Imperator Messer was around. A word about the whole Empire of Earth, though. Despite its very scary-sounding name, it is more or less a democracy. In fact, there was a recent election for the now current Imperator Addison, where basically anybody who had backed the game or had an account with the game could vote for one of the candidates available, and Addison won on a heavy pro-science platform. You can read into that what you will. Okay, now, some ships are not yet in the game, but apparently there has been some development because we can see them in a holotank. Holographic representations of future starships. This one is really brand spanking new. It has recently gone into concept sales. It is the Rsi Scorpius, which is being marketed as a heavy fighter. There's some debate as to whether or not it actually qualifies as a heavy fighter. Shielding sounds dubious. It is a two-man vessel, and it doesn't sound like that the pilot can control the turret guns. So the attraction of this ship kind of went down hard for me on that one. I mean, sure, you can put in an AI blade whenever they put that game functionality in. But that's not even on the roadmap, so as far as I'm concerned, sorry guys, it looks cool, but it's not going to happen on my end. I'll buy it with in-game credits someday. Oops, I should have gone around the other way. Our next starship on the list is this one. The Rsi Perseus. A gunship. It's roughly similar size to the Carrack. Except apparently it will hurt more when the guns hit you. Why are all these people standing around the display signs? I find that rude as hell. They wanted to call this a basically take capable of wiping out subcapital class Goliaths. So that would mean things like Carracks, maybe Hammerheads, that sort of size. Whether or not it can actually fulfill that promise, who knows? It's not currently on the roadmap, so who knows when we'll find out. Now over here we have something that is on the roadmap, and is not as heavy artillery as some of the other vessels we looked at. The Constellation Taurus, the long-awaited freight variant of the Constellation. How this is going to differ from the mainline other constellations? More cargo capacity. What it's going to look like? Nobody knows. Although the exterior is obviously, pretty much standard Constellation. People have been waiting for this to come out for a long time. Honestly, it's overdue. Of course, you can say that about a lot of RSI stuff. Speaking of RSI, this is the Polaris, a Corvette-class capital ship, got weapons, and can refuel, rearm, and repair a small fighter, such as the aforementioned Scorpius. This recently, like in the last few days, was revealed to no longer be hull limited. In the past, there were only so many copies of the Polaris that they were willing to sell at a time. Artificial scarcity, that sort of thing. But they announced a few days ago that the Polaris would no longer be hull limited, that anybody can buy it at any time, well, during the sale, that is. So it's not a question of hitting the refresh button and pray that you can be one of the lucky ones to get a Polaris. Now, if you want it, you can get it. I think it might be on the roadmap at the moment, but I'm not 100% certain because I wasn't paying that close attention. But I'm pretty sure it's up there. And finally, another unexpected copy. The Origin G12 Alpha. Origin has a bunch of rover vehicles in concept right now, and this is a military variant because it has, well, you can see it, guns. Or maybe those are missiles. They look more like, well, no, they're hollow. They're guns. The Origin G12 is still in concept, just like everything else down here, and it is not yet on the roadmap. And that is everything. That's everything in the Expo Hall for this day. Tomorrow, like I said, Aegis Dynamics will get its turn, and the fun will begin. Because Aegis is pretty much exclusively military, so pretty much everything they have is basically going to be shoot 'em all! So now we are going to go to the spaceport, and we are going to do some flying. I'm just running all the way to the other end of the hall here. They really need to put something in those stairwells to, have people look at when they're walking up and down. There's so much empty space there. You'd think they could put a bunch of military stuff there. That said, there are more important things to be working on in this game than decorating expo hallways that'll be used once a year. Maybe twice. And maybe not even that, because odds are, when they do the expo later this year in November, I'm willing to bet that it'll take place at the new landing zone of Oris. That is my prediction. You can hold me to it. Sadly, we do not have a direct route to the spaceport, so it's going to be along the lines of whatever metro is available first. This one's here, so I get to take this one. I just have to remember not to get out at the first stop, because the first stop is going to be the Commons, and I'm not going to the commons. That would be where I'd want to buy a lot of stuff, like ship equipment, armor, personal guns, ship guns. I don't need any of that. And most importantly, ice pick crypto keys. When you are in the same org that I'm in, those crypto keys, they come in handy. I'm not saying that the org finds people in prison on a regular basis, except they find people in prison on a regular basis. Oh, nuts, they're already open. Looks like we'll be heading to Baijini Point a little sooner than expected, because I didn't think they would be there yet. Open for 1 hour. The Bengal Flyby will be in 33 minutes, which is a little longer than I thought it'd be. So, zoom to the spaceport. You can see it in the distance there. I guess we're heading near dawn, because I'm pretty sure it was pitch black earlier. Maybe we'll do a flyby of the Expo Center. Yeah, I think we will.
Nearing next stop.
Nearing next stop. Alright, here we are. Got people. You can see I'm hardly the only person getting ready to take a trip. Theoretically. Although apparently they didn't hit the button, so I will. Wonder if someone who's a new pilot. Well, you learn by doing. Momentarily. Next level up. And we'll run down some stairs. And then we'll run up some stairs. Why do they do it like this? Besides driving people crazy. Okay, so why don't we go into yeah, for a minute there I was wondering if anything was going to come up. Since we rented the Rsi Phoenix, and you can see it's rented here for 48 hours, we're going to take the luxurious route to go to Arcpor and Area 18. And we'll see exactly what luxury means to Robert Space Industries. You may be surprised. Incidentally, like all the Andromeda variants have gotten nowadays, it does have a snub ship attached to it. The Archimedes in this case, which is similar enough to the Merlin that there's not much of a practical difference. You can see it nestled under the underside there. You can detach it, fly it, and redock with the Constellation and do your thing. Alright, let's take a look at what high class means to a manufacturer like RSI. So far, not much. I mean, it's awful dark in here. It'll look better once I turn the lights on. First thing we'll do is fly out. You may have noticed occasionally that I'm getting these messages about commodity updates. That's also new, and for traders it should be helpful to let them know what is in demand, what isn't in demand. Might help them sell stuff. That's the theory. In practice, I haven't had a chance to test it yet, so it's going to be interesting because there are a lot of people who like doing the trading game. And part of the reason that people have been having trouble with trading is that supply has been rough for everything, not just the cheap stuff. Now, whether or not that's still going to be the case, still an open question. Now, you can see that the paint job for the Phoenix is nice bright white, so that already sets it apart from the other constellations, which tend to be gunmetal gray. Up we go. Bring up the landing gear. Kill the VTOL. And we're going to do a little flyby over here. Because I'm pretty... And you can see from the distance here that they're even firing off fireworks. Which is pretty cool. It's probably a little more impressive during nighttime, but we make do. We make do. Let's see if I can accelerate a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time fiddling around. I wonder how close they're going to let me get to this. Autopilot is a thing in this game, and sometimes the autopilot takes a childlike glee in smashing you into buildings. I'm hoping I'm high enough that that won't be an issue. But there you go, the big holographic Invictus launch week display, fireworks going on, the center down there. And I think that's about as far as I want to get as far as getting close. This is a little too big of a ship to be doing high-speed flybys. So now the next step is to get out of the atmosphere high enough so that I can chart a course to the world of ArcCore. And if I'm lucky, I should be able to get to Bikini Point before the Javelin decides to take off. There is a little bit of a time limit on that. I'm told that if you're there too long, you will be you will not just be thrown out, you will be hauled off to prison. I guess they kind of are suspicious of people hanging around and possibly being spies for, well, anybody who's anti-military, honestly. Okay, I can start charting a course. ArcCore is naturally over here. And you can see, if you haven't been paying attention to the displays, you can see that it tells you that the Invictus launch fleet is here. So let's spool up that quantum drive and get cracking. And since I'm using an absolutely garbage quantum drive, hey Cap, how you doing today? Hope things are going well on your end of the monitor. And we have not investigated the hot tub part yet. We have not done the interior tour of the Phoenix. That's coming once I get into quantum travel towards Bikini Point. At that point, then we'll wander around, because I am using an absolutely lousy quantum drive. Which apparently has stopped working entirely. I hope that doesn't mean the 30Ks are coming. Time for a quick check on... Oh, well, I guess it's working now. I guess I don't need to check the B-wing. Flag. and jump. This will take us approximately longer than I want to think about, so plenty of time to do the interior tour. We spoke of the powerful luxury of the Rsi and Constellation Phoenix. You will not see it here. You've got your cheapo bathroom. You've got your narrow storage lockers. You've got a retractable table that still doesn't work. A long couch. 4 bunks. Does any of this sound luxurious to you? I think not. But that's the crew area. This, on the other hand, is for passengers, and this is where things get much more interesting. We have a number of cabins, appointed nicely with their own comfy beds, aquariums, and television. And you've got a couple of these, because, you know, we've got another one right here. You have a couple of very airline seat kind of chairs here, seats, complete with tables. You have a bar where you can get all sorts of good stuff like Atlas Nouveau, Blackbeard, Absinthe. Oh, don't ask me to do that one. Hippocampus, and other equally delightful drinks, none of which you can actually interact with. Not even the Vesta water. Ooh, and some wine racks. Who knows what might be inside of these? Also, we have an executive table. So if you happen to be an executive who wants to meet with your people, you could have your meetings here with a wonderful view of the outside. And then, as our good friend Cap here alluded to, we have the hot tub, which doesn't actually work yet. Like, at all. It's just kind of there. In fact, I'm literally standing on top of it. So much for the hot tub. You've also got some component areas that you'd prefer not to be touching if you're in the hot tub. It's like putting your finger in a socket. Don't do that. Over here we have the VIP quarters. Now you'll carefully note that you can't really look in, but you can look out. Definitely VIP accommodations. Now, if you look around carefully here, you'll notice this panel over here, which brings you down into the cargo deck. Yes, the Phoenix can handle cargo. It just can't handle a lot of cargo. It spends all of its time being, luxurious and hot tubby. I like to compare it with executive jets. That's the best comparison I can think of to the Phoenix here. If you're flying an executive jet, or if you're a passenger in an executive jet, this is the sort of ambience you might expect. If Tony Stark designed a luxury ship, this would be how he would design it. If Tony Stark were to purchase a luxury ship, he would buy the 89 Jump, but that's a different story altogether. Back here, more components. We're out of the luxury and back into the nitty-gritty. And finally, we have the place where you can hook up into the Archimedes snubcraft, detach, fly around, and do your thing. Now, I've been walking around here in my nice casual clothing, but I'm pretty certain that I'm going to be on a landing pad when I have to land this thing, so I'm going to swap out to my spacesuit now. Because breathing vacuum is bad. the really hilarious thing is I'm going to be walking into Javelin, the military destroyer, carrying a bunch of grenades and guns. But no, there's nothing suspicious about that at all. Sure, head on up. We'll pass you through. Oh, I'm heading back to the Archimedes. Duh, going the wrong way. Let's close up some doors while I'm going here. I should be neat and polite. And that's pretty much your Constellation Phoenix. So we're going to... I think that'll close automatically. Yeah. And we'll head up here, and we'll see how far we are from our destination. I seem to have a slightly frosted glass on this thing. This is the sort of thing you can expect to happen to you if you're, renting. I thought they were supposed to fix that. I guess they didn't. Now, as Legend pointed out, this does have some armament, but it doesn't have as much armament as the Andromeda. It's basically got the pilot guns on it, and that might be about it. I don't think it has working turrets. But because I can't help myself, let's look. Well, we've got... Okay, we must have one turret on the bottom there. But I don't think we... Oh, well, I guess maybe we do have a couple turrets. How about that? And just in time, Legend says, has 2 turrets. Type faster! So, all things considered, it is an executive jet with teeth. Now, it's also got a couple of co-pilot seats, which are completely meaningless at this point. There is continued talk that these are going to be involved with specific operations as the game is developed. Missile operator is the next on the list, and given that the baseline Constellation has heaps and heaps and heaps of missiles, I would think that would be a pretty important station. Let's see, Legend and I looked it up yesterday. Basically, the Andromeda without the cargo spot. Supposedly has a shielded cargo area too, but not sure if it's hidden the same way the MSR is. Well, since there's still some debate as to whether or not the MSR actually is shielding, I've heard mixed opinions on that. I don't think that's too big of a problem. I don't know. I kind of suspect that the entire area is basically shielded. I mean, there's very little other places to be down there. We got time. Let's go back. Run, 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 run. Hello? Where's the button? There we are. They did not make this easy. Put on my tiny flashlight. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of other places to throw cargo down here. I would almost be inclined to say that this entire area might be. You didn't know this was there, Cap? Well, I'm glad to have enlightened you. Yeah, I stumbled upon it by accident a while back and thought, cool. Because I'm easy. But yep, this is a cargo area, and I believe it will also lower just like other ones can in the Constellation series. I always want to call them the Andromeda series. Don't know why. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this lowers just like the other Constellation ones. Yeah, here we go. There's the button. I will not be pressing it. How many SCU? I don't actually know off the top of my head, but I'm willing to say that it's at least well, let me rephrase that. It's probably at most half of what you would find in the Andromeda. Best guess. As far as vehicles, you might be able to throw hover cycles in there. I don't... Well, when you look at the advertisements and the information about this ship, it talks about a Lynx rover, which I have not seen anywhere. Not for concept, not anything. And maybe it's something that's still on the radar, or maybe it went away because of the Ursa rovers. But if the Lynx is a smaller and, more importantly, shorter vehicle, that would fit in the cargo bay. Unfortunately, don't really know what can fit in there for certain. It's not showing up on Urkel. That's one area that Urkel doesn't seem to do well with. Well, you know what? That's okay. Urkel tends to focus on the people who can blow things up. Cargo is usually not a component of such things. According to Reddit, which is never wrong, it can hold 80 SCU. I don't know, it seems high. Because I think the Andromeda is like 96. Well, you know what? I'm going to take a quick peek. Da, 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 da. Which nobody can see because I don't have it on the screen. I'm going to go and locate let's see, Phoenix, 80 SCU. The wiki for Star Citizen agrees with you, 80 SCU. That seems high. Yeah, it doesn't show up on the RSI website stats either. Yeah, RSI's had some issues filling out its stats. I mean, if you look at the Taurus, for example, it's almost useless. Or at least it used to be. In any event, it has 80 SCU. It's not losing as much as I thought, because, you know, I'm pretty sure the Andromeda is 96. That's not a big difference. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm surprised. Phoenix is not losing as much as I would have expected. Now, I do feel compelled to mention that anybody hoping to pick up a pledge of the Constellation Phoenix, it is limited hull. That's the bad news. The good news is you can purchase in-game. Andro is indeed 96. And for now, as far as I suspect for the purchasing thing, that is true. Okay, because we have such a lousy quantum drive, it's going to take almost 30 seconds for this thing to cool down. So not only is it slow in transit, but it's also slow in cooldown. If you buy a Constellation Phoenix in-game or by pledge, replace the quantum drive first. You'll thank me for it later. All right, here we go. By Genie Point. I'm not entirely sure where things stand as far as the timing for the flyby. All right. Okay, that was weird. Everything kind of froze for a second. Let's accelerate our speed towards Bikini Point. I was kind of hoping to... Oh, okay, there we go. If you look all the way up there, let's see if I can zoom in on it. Yes, there's the Javelin. Unfortunately, there is one tiny detail that I do not know. I don't know which dock that is. So hopefully, I'll be able to get there and not waste too much time with it. Knock on wood. It tells you inside the station. Oh, that's good. That's good. And hopefully they'll tell me how long I have left. Of course, it also sounds like that someone's targeting me, which is rude. Okay, let's come in. Drop landing gear, turn on VTOLs, and ooh, someone's being shot at. Somebody's been bad. And I better take this low here because I don't want to be in the line of fire. We'll do a hard landing here.
Landing complete. Engines are off.
Turn off the engines, but I'm leaving the shields on because whatever's going on, I don't trust whoever it is. Oh yay, force effects. I'm being hit. I'm guessing that whoever was opening fire is now dead. Because there was an explosion, and it wasn't me. And there we have somebody flying. It looks like it was once a Valkyrie. Or maybe it was a Terrapin. Looks more like a Terrapin. That was a horrible choice of starship to use if that was the case. Yeah, it does look like a Terrapin. Why would you use a Terrapin? Well, they clearly failed at being dangerous. Now, Terrapins are supposed to be pretty tough as far as armor goes, but it still hasn't really lived up to the hype. Okay, we'll close up the Phoenix now. I don't feel any compelling need to fix it. Guy, come get you from prison. Are you in prison again, Cap? Here's what happens when you've been bad. Okay. Let's go to the lobby. Oh, is that you, Cap? Oh, you deserved it then. Yeah, I give you no sympathy. Boy, did you choose the wrong starship to use. Whoa. It's fun when you hear things in the background in the elevator. Okay, I'm feeling the force effects. I think that Cap's little game has bugged me. I might have to log out and in again. Thanks, Cap. Let's see, where's the signage? There's hot dogs, but I don't need hot dogs. Ah, here we are. Ah, no, flashback on, you stupid sign. I saw Invictus stuff on here. Don't think I didn't see it. The flyby is in 4 minutes. Oh, jeez. Decisions. Do I want to try to rush a tour? Or do I want to go back outside and watch the Bengal flyby? I think the Bengal flyby will be a lot more fun. But we're not going to do it in the Phoenix, which is already damaged because somebody thought he was being clever. I will, however, grab the recently rented Mustang Delta. And that is a good question. Legend, have you toured the Javelin yet? Presuming that you're still here, of course. And presuming you can even hear me, because apparently my vocal volume is iffy. And you know, I still haven't seen the signage that tells me where the Javelin is docked. I mean, admittedly, I was kind of skimming that sign there because I was paying attention to the Bengal Flyby. We'll do the Bengal Flyby, and then we'll figure out where the Javelin is going next and check it out. I wonder if that sign will also skip. Yeah, here we go. No, it's not telling. Ah, Secport B. There we go. 31 minutes. It's a big ship, though. I don't know how long it'll take to actually tour the place. Subnautica is loud. Well, that could also have a little bit to do with it. Now, it feels like I should be able to do something from the back end here, but I can't. The cockpit for the Mustang Delta is here. Only a small portion of the Javelin is open for the tours, so you can do it in plenty of time. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that there would be a very limited amount of rooms done there.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All systems operational.
Now, for those who are unfamiliar with this particular vessel, let's take a look at some of the vital stats. It's got, you know, size 1 shield, size, everything that's size 1. The important question is weaponry. We've got a Badger repeater on the wing, Badger repeater on the other wing. We've got turret guns, M4A cannons. And finally, we got a pair of missiles. So this is definitely better armed than the baseline Alpha.
Launch complete.
The ship has a takeoff appearance and a very transparent a cockpit that is so transparent that for a second there I was wondering if I even had a glass cockpit.
Thank you, and please visit again.
So what I'm waiting for now is the Bengal, which is supposedly coming here in just a few minutes. Just for the giggles, let's see if I can do a flyby of the Javelin without getting busted. I probably will. They'll probably tell me, go away, or get crime stat, and then I can join Cap in jail. It's a pretty good sized ship, but you really can't get a good feeling on how big it is until you're literally standing around it. During the last Invictus flight week, I literally did a spacewalk all around that ship. And believe me, it definitely has a much different sense of scale than what it looks like if you look at it from the Starship cockpit. Now, where, oh, where, oh, where will the Bengal... Oh, is that it? Or is that just a turret? That's just a turret. That's right. Taunt me. somewhere around here. And of course, the ship here has a lousy 2D radar, so not my favorite. Not my favorite by any stretch. You know, it occurs to me that what I ought to do here there we go. I've been flying this ship around, and I didn't bother updating my currently flying information to show that I am currently flying the Mustang Delta. Careless, careless, careless. It's been a while since I've had to use that window. I can be excused. I can see other ships flying there, but, you know, I'm pretty sure they're not the Bengal. Oh, I think that might be it. Yes, yes it is. Alright, folks. If you want to see what real size is... Let's see, can you not change up ship components from prison? No. Seems like it's not giving you choices. You're in prison, you're not going to be able to switch around ship components. Let's increase our speed a tad. In fact, let's start decreasing our speed a little. Well, actually, no, I can still keep going because you see, it doesn't look all that big. But guess what? It is that big. Let's try to kind of parallel it. I don't think I'll be able to match its speed exactly, but I'm hoping to get relatively close. Okay, we have another ship coming in here. That guy is flying a Hammerhead. Of course, that's possible that it's, you know, not a player. I'm going to turn off the cruise control because I want a little more precision here. I kind of want to get closer, but I don't want to get too close because they might take it personally and shoot me. You can see that the engine of the Bengal is bigger than the Mustang. Now, if I recall correctly, the Bengal is supposed to be a carrier. So, theoretically speaking, you would conceivably land and take off on that strip in the center here. Oh, it looks like somebody just tried and failed miserably. There's probably a moral to the story here somewhere. The Bengal is, for all intents and purposes, the biggest ship in Star Citizen. Period. Well, okay, maybe not period. Technically, I think the Van Duel King ship is the biggest one. Yeah, not me this time. No, Cap, you are innocent on this one. You were not the one who turned into flaming wreckage here. You're still working off your prison sentence, last I checked. No, this is the biggest human starship in the game. The Van Duel King ship, I believe, is going to be bigger. But as far as humanity goes, this is the King. Huge, disgustingly huge. It will not be available for pledging, despite what some folks like to think. The Bengal is basically... Well, basically it exists for the sole purpose of serving in Squadron 42 on the standalone game. I believe that a Bengal carrier is where your character will be operating from, if I recall correctly, which I will not guarantee because I haven't paid that close attention. But it's big. And if it would stop, then I would have a better chance of being able to, you know, give you a good size comparison. Well, I might be able to still do something if I can move backwards at a decent speed. I could at least face the landing bay. And if I can get closer without actually trying to land, because I'm not insane. Well, I'm not totally insane. But it does give you a good idea, I think, if I were in a kind of close to a landing position. You can see that I'm wide enough to fit on this strip. Okay, I'm rising up now because I don't want to die. It's also one of the few ships you cannot pledge or buy. Yes, also you will not be able to buy in-game either. The Bengal is a military starship. The closest you're going to get to it is if you really downgrade your expectations and get a Drake Kraken. But of course, the downside on that is you'd have to, buy from Drake. Oh, there's Idris behind it too. Yeah, of course, admittedly, we've seen the Idris a few times, usually in the point of trying to kill it. But it's a pretty good-sized ship as well. We've seen the Javelin before, and we've seen the Idris before. The Javelin we'd seen both on the previous Invictus and during the Zenith Threat event. But the Bengal is brand new for this Invictus. This is the first time we've seen a Bengal-class starship flying by. And I gotta say, it's pretty impressive. I don't believe it is going to be doing any docking work. I'm reasonably sure that it's just going to fly past by Genie Point. In fact, it technically already has. And do its thing. Now, I have been paying attention. Some people have apparently been attempting to engage the Bengal in combat. I don't know if anybody has managed to destroy it yet. And I use the word yet because I'm almost certain that someone will destroy it before Invictus is over. If it hasn't happened already, somebody will. Unless the devs did something like make it completely immune to damage. I can almost guarantee someone is going to arrange for this ship to blow up. It may end up being a server full of players flying Eclipses and Retaliators, but it will happen. There's one thing I've learned over the years. Never underestimate the drive of a player to blow up the really invincible shinies. They've done it with the Idris. They did it with the Javelin. I have the utmost expectation that they will find a way to do it with the Bengal. They better work fast, though, because it's only going to be around here for about a week. Well, looks like someone else is doing flybys. That is indeed a player. I wonder if he'll try landing. That could go really entertaining. Yeah, If you look at the Saber, now this is actually better. The Saber right there gives you a good idea of the scale. Saber is a one-man fighter, a little bit bigger than the Mustang, and you saw how small he was in comparison to all that. That is a hint of scale. If you build it, they will blow it up. Truer words were never spoken. And yes, as you may have noticed, my auto shill is going on. If you do not have an account with Star Citizen, if you would like to have an account, if you would like to try out the free flight event, go ahead and click that link there. It will associate with my referral code, so that if you decide that, hey, I like this game, and you buy a package, you will additionally get about 5,000 credits, and I think the promotion for a free Aurora ES is still on. I'm not 100% certain. Which will also have lifetime insurance associated with it, so even though the ES is hot garbage, you can still upgrade it to a better starship, and it will maintain that lifetime insurance. Okay, shilling is over. That was as close as I get to shilling, in fact. Oh, is that someone's Cutlass? I believe it is. Cutlass is a medium-sized ship, and again, look how it compares with the Bengal. Just look at it. Medium-sized ship. Oh, is he going for a landing? Is he going for a landing? We could be in for some entertainment here. Ah, no, too much. And bless my buttons, I think he's still alive. Oh, something does blow up. I didn't see anything, but contact ATC. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm a little closer to the Bitini point than I thought I was. I wonder if they are going to dock. No, they're not quite the right angle. But you saw that medium-sized Cutlass try to go in the hangar of the Bengal. A medium-sized ship. Gotta tell you. Gotta tell you. That's impressive scale. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about is if you're going to get criminal status for blowing up at the Bengal. Otherwise, I'd be tempted to try. But today is for Invictus, not for Korath is locked in prison and needs to escape. There you go. Take a look at the underside. Everything I've been doing has been above the ship, but, you know, we can take a look at the underside. And, oh my, those are big guns, aren't they? I think they're guns. They look gun-like. Gee, I sure hope it doesn't ram into the station. I mean, it looks like it could slam into those cargo deck stuff pretty easily. No, he's turning. He's turning. And I better start rising because otherwise I'm going to collide with the cargo deck. It's flying away from the security deck, so I am not entirely sure where the Javelin is going to go next. I have not had a chance to look at the general flight rotation. Obviously still here. Did they just stop? No, they're still moving. It's slow movement, but they are moving. It was moving slow. Maybe I can get a little closer and see if I can third-person view it a little bit more so that I can get a good handle on scale. It's big, no doubt about that. Uh-oh, Cap's out of prison. That's bad. Okay, I think it's time to land and see where the timing on the Javelin is. See if maybe I can find out some information for the tour.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
And I'll probably want to get a head start if I do find out because, well, actually, no, I think I'll take a ship other than the Phoenix. Because the Phoenix is slow.
Landing gear engaged.
Alright, auto land kicked on.
Landing complete. Engine, all systems disabled.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Alright, let's head see what the screen says. It's going to turn to R&R again before I get there. Yep, bing! Stupid R&R station. Everything my trip needs except the information I want for the bloody Invictus. 9 minutes for the Javelin tour. There is no information as to where its next stop is going to be. If I knew the route that this thing took, then I would just head there and wait. Problem is, I don't know the route it's taking. But I want to be able to take my time with the tour, so that's why I'm not going to rush aboard the Javelin now. And plus, to add insult to injury, I'm relatively sure that there will be a period of time between the end of that countdown and when it takes off from Baijini and when it lands at wherever, well, docks at wherever it's going to dock. Let me see if I can find the schedule somewhere. I'm going to try to see if one of my good friends on the internet can tell me the order of travel. It's not looking promising, though. I mean, all I'm getting is flying at all the major hubs, but it's not saying what order it's flying at the hubs. No, nothing here either. They are not going to make my life easy. Well, at the very least, I can start taking care of some other details. Let's see. I can put a better quantum drive on Carrick, and that will allow me to get to where I'm going a lot faster. In theory. In theory. And while it will not get me there faster by putting nastier guns on it, I'm still going to put nastier guns on it. And, of course, the white paint from the expo back in November. Because it looks cool. Now, let's see. I feel bad just sitting here for the next 5 minutes waiting for this thing to update its location. So how about we take a quick trip? Yeah, you know what? We're going to take a quick trip over to the cargo deck. And see if I can put on the stream something that I've yet to successfully show on stream. That was faster than I thought. Yeah, I'm still bugged. Apparently, from what I understand, there's something invisible that I'm tripping on. At least that's what some of the claims are. I can't prove any of that. But no, it's not over here. You see, the one thing that I've failed to do on stream consistently is find one of the trolleys that you can push, pull, and take somewhere. Of course, even when I did find it, or when I was off stream, I still couldn't actually get it into the elevator. So, yay. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any trolleys in here. Boo, hiss. Once again, I am foiled. Or, if I want to be traditional about it, curses! Foiled again! Hey, you win some, you lose some. C'est la vie. Let's see. Do I have any bottled water on me? I know I had it at one point, but I think we had to patch land and get rid of it all. I should buy myself some water to have available. Just on the outside chance that I accidentally managed to not get killed. Yeah, I'm getting very tired of this. It's perfectly possible that I'm going to end up having to log off of the server and try to log back into it. Especially since this kind of thing was kind of responsible for blowing up a couple of ships last week on stream. Well, the actual truth is that the ship involved was such a shoddy design and manufacture that you really couldn't expect much out of it. Boy, I really don't want to be grabbing pips. I was hoping for just water, but apparently if you're buying hot dogs, you're not going to be buying water. Yeah, you know what? It can wait. I don't need anything to drink that badly. What's our countdown at? Welcome. Everything your trip needs. Full stop. 2.5 minutes before it leaves Bikini Point. And hopefully it will tell us in that amount of time where it will go next. Can you feel the excitement? Actually, let's see about something else here. You see, also in the last week, something else dropped. The Hercules Starlifters. Of course, it's not here. Oops. Okay, so I can't use that as an option. I should have realized that because I was fiddling with it over the last couple of days. That's my bad. I can take my Mercury, though. Yeah, I think I will. Because the Mercury will get me there a lot faster. In fact, yeah, we'll pull it out now. Mercury. And then I'll just wait outside and watch the display out there to let me know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be on the pad, not on a hangar. If they put it into a hangar, it's going to complicate my life a little bit. Come on, put it on a platform. Pad 5, excellent. It is on a pad. Pads are where I want to be. Pad. Incidentally, you may have noticed a couple of new entries on the elevator here talking about docking. Those docking ports are for hammerheads and 890 jumps. Because now we have ship-to-station docking available for those vessels. Hopefully, in the not horribly distant future, other ships will be able to do so. I would especially like to see the Reclaimer added to that list because it is the other freakishly huge starship. And someone is opening fire on stuff already. Hopefully they're paying attention to the Bengal. It's not capped this time. Hard to believe though that may be. 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, come on! Stupid R&R station. Bring it back. 0. And it's still at 0. And it's still at 0. Okay, well, while we're flipping waiting, let's see what's going on outside. I hear weapons fire going on. It's coming from the station. Not what I expected. Going to the other side of the station. Someone is on the other side of that arm, who's apparently a target, but hasn't actually... I guess it kind of tells you something about the AI turret gameplay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! I crashed! Well, that's the server for you. Well, now I can just sit tight and wait for Cap to draw us in at this point, since, you know, we're partied up there. Oh, that's interesting. My crashed screen didn't come up. I wonder if I changed a hotkey somewhere along the line. That's embarrassing. On the bright side, though, I am still at Bikini Point. And what that means is I don't have to worry about traveling all across a planet's subway system, or train system, or whatever, to get to my ship again. Better still, my ship was still on the pad, hadn't taken off, hadn't done anything, so I should still be able to retrieve it at the terminals. That's if everything goes exactly according to plan. Because as we know, everything goes according to plan. Okay. Apparently I'm going to have some lag here. Tell me I'm not crashing again. Okay, that's still working. Weird things happen, especially when you have lots of people online. And now that the free flight's rolling, lots of people are online. And Cap can't get his elevators working. Cap, dare I ask where you're located? And while I'm waiting for that response, I prefer to have a very different color for my party chat. Glenn Station. Over at Glenn? How the heck do you get over there? On second thought, don't answer that. Okay. On the bright side, came over to dump duplicate ships. Oh, you're running into a lot of duplication again, huh? Okay, Javelin is at Port Tressler. Port Tressler, ironically, back at Microtech. Now, it took us a while to get here from Port Tressler before. Well, from Microtech itself properly. But that was when I was flying the Constellation Phoenix. I will not be flying the Constellation Phoenix this time. This time I'll be flying one of my ships, the Mercury Star Runner. You know, the abbreviation MSR to me used to mean something very different than what it means now. Back in my City of Heroes days, MSR meant Mothership Raid, where you'd attack the Rickety Mothership and beat up aliens and all sorts of fun. But ever since Star Citizen rolled them out, for me, MSR has meant this baby. Okay, it's not nearly as impressive on the darker side of the planet, but it looks more impressive once we get into daylight. I'll close you up. I am probably one of the only people on the planet who actually uses the elevator in the Mercury. I regret nothing. And one more opens, and into the pilot seat. Activate and launch. Alright, let's zoom ourselves back out of the map and aim for Port Tressler, where it conveniently tells me the location of the Invictus fleet. Orbital marker first.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
And then off to Microtech itself. And bang. Yeah, I still can't get a very good look at the design of the MSR, at least as far as detail goes, because of the sad position of shadows here. But it's still one of my favorite designs. I love flying the ship, so, you know, I make allowances. Now let's see, is there another communication I missed? No, okay, good. Now, thanks to the rather different design, it took me about 600 to 800 seconds to travel in the Constellation. It will take me less than 5 minutes to get there from here. So we are moving substantially faster. Is there no new paint? There's no new paint jobs for me today, is there? You know what? That is actually a good question. I have not looked. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's take a look together, shall we? Let's go to the pledge store. Go to extras, go to paints. There are Invictus. In fact, let's narrow it down. Okay, that didn't work nearly as well as it should have. Okay, we're going to have ILW as well as Invictus as possibilities, so they make it complicated, don't they? We've got this this design here. Let's see if we can get a bigger pic. Invictus, oh, very clever. Specifically, Invictus Launch Week painted. And it seems to be for the Origin 100 series. Let's see. What I really want to do is be able to sort by new, but I don't think he's going to let me do that. I'm basically checking to see for RSI or Origin or Argo. Scorpius doesn't count. No, it's not looking like we have anything other than Origin on here. And I'm kind of surprised. I would have expected to see RSI paints on here. Constellation has this green paint, but it's always been there. So it looks like the only new paints that I'm seeing are for the 100 series. Now this says pack. Why does it say pack? Okay, includes Invictus and the other paints for the Origin 100. That's why it says pack. Although okay, maybe that's why we have 3 different looks on here, because it's kind of mixed of 3. Front of this one, the middle of this one, and the back of this one on the same picture. So this is not what it really looks like on the left here. This is just showing all 3 paints on the same ship. This is what the actual paint job looks like. Bright blue with the Invictus logo and all that on it. And that's your paint job. Alright, let's get ourselves back into the game here, where we are hopefully closing in on our target. I really thought there would be more than just the 1 paint. But I imagine we'll see a few showing up tomorrow and on succeeding days. Alright. Time to come in for the landing. Well, first I gotta get to the station, then I can come in for the landing. Now, the sad thing about using such a fast quantum drive is that it's got a slow cooldown. Still not as bad as the one that was on the Constellation earlier. Let's see, probably a lot more coming. I would agree. If we do not see at least 1 or 2 paints a day, well, per Invictus day, I'll be surprised. That said, I'm a very credulous person. Who knows? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick flyby of the security area and see if the Javelin has shown up yet. I don't see... Oh, nope, there it is. There it is. Alright, Port Tressler. I guess it would probably be a good idea for me to start checking my communications and checking to see when ATC is going to contact me. Since I'm in the Armistice Zone, it can probably happen at almost any time. And there we are. I jumped the gun. Oh, there it is. Now all I gotta do is land there without crashing. Did I lose track of where the pad is? I thought I was heading for it. Now I don't see the indicator for it anymore. Guys? Guys? Okay, let's try opening communications again. I mean, work with me here, guys. There we are. Drop the landing gear.
Landing gear down.
And we'll just land.
Complete.
I'm not doing a neat here.
Engines. Systems off.
Crash desktop, 30K, crash into station. Lots of ways to die after you jinx yourself there. Hey, taunting fate is my hobby. Some people like to taunt fate. I like to take the glove, slap it across the face a few times, and kick it in the unmentionables and see what happens. Get me a ticket to the Javelin Tour. Be there shortly. I don't know if there's actually any tickets, so to speak. But I shall be waiting for you at whatever security dock it is. Details are forthcoming. So I'm going to run all across this path. Don't need to wait for you. You're on your way, but a lot can happen between here and there. Certainly. For example, 30Ks. Now the tour is open for 1 hour and 24 minutes, ballpark. I'm rounding up. I think that we probably have enough time. Of course, the one thing I didn't do was pay attention to which freaking dock it was in. Port C. So I'm going to go to Port C. Yeah, I've been doing horrible with my currently flying button lately. I'm going to have to practice on that again so I'm more used to it. It's been too long. Because I was obviously not flying a Mustang Delta. So we are going down. Or maybe it's across. Where is... Oh no, I'm going down because I'm looking up and I'm seeing my Star Runner. So therefore I'm going down. In space, everything is relative. Okay, thank God. I think they need to turn the lights on in here. I mean, it's awfully dark. Yeah, whoever maintains this part of the station, they really need to do a better job. I mean, this is like a hazard, people. No, I'm running on a chair. I mean, come on, guys, turn on the lights. Oh, I'm in the right place, all right. I can see the Javelin from here. We're docked to it. I mean, it's just awfully dark in here. 9 million kilometers out. And gee, Merry Christmas, coming in an Origin ship. It's so very dark. I hope they put the lights on in the Javelin, or otherwise this tour is going to be awfully... No, it looks like they got lights on it there. So I'm going to wait here at the airlock. And because I am doing the touristy thing, let's not be going on board carrying a arsenal of weapons and grenades and all that. I mean, that looks bad. Of course, it also means I'm walking around without a flashlight anymore, so, you know. Let's take a look at the Javelin from here, shall we? It's a pretty big ship. I mean, it's not as big as the Bengal, but really, everything in comparison for the Bengal. Is it by Genie now? Keep on thinking that, guys. It has a good point. They can have open carry rules in Stanton. Yeah, they sure do, but it looks bad when you're going aboard one of the massive destroyers of the UEE. If you're walking around with, you know, grenades and assault rifles and submachine guns, I mean, they could probably overlook the sidearm, but when you're carrying that kind of hardware, it looks bad. I see that you're in system. And closing rapidly. More or less. Can't believe people were thinking still in Bizini Point. It's not Bizini Point. I'm looking right at it. Now, for those who are just coming in, I'm going to remark that this tour of the Javelin is not a complete tour. As I understand it, we're not seeing all of the Javelin. It's quite likely because they don't actually have all of the Javelin finished yet. But, you know, we'll get to see at least the bits that they're willing to let us poor civilians look at. And, in its own way, it will be showing us the progress being made. Oh, did they turn on the lights? I think they turned on the lights. Yes, yes, they have finally turned on the lights in the security area. C. You want to go to port C. Oh, and they do have a ticket booth. You can't actually use any of the tickets. Oh, and there's the water I was looking for earlier, which it's not going to let me actually use. That's right, taunt me with the water. You went to B. Why would you click on one at random before you ask? I do see their brochures for, looks like we got, I want to say that's Carrick, but it could be 890. Mercury. Oh, that is 890. And for the Hercules. Now, why they're doing the 890 with their UE stuff is beyond me. But I don't pretend to understand thought processes of recruiters or ticket people who have left this station completely unattended yet again, with water that you can't take or buy. I'm a little bitter. I want my water. Give me my liquid nourishment. And there he is, Cap in full military gear, ready to more or less terrify the people on board the Javelin. Especially all the civilian noobs who are walking around and seeing this guy in military armor and weapons. Ah, there we go. There, that's closer to... Oh, although I do have to fault your choice of T-shirts. But I do admire your choice of hat. Not bad. And yes, we seem to have had my timed autofill kickoff. If you like what you're seeing with this game, if you don't already have an account with this game, feel free to click that link to make an account. It includes my referral code so that if you decide to get a package, you will be able to get a free lifetime insured Aurora ES, theoretically, and 5,000 extra credits. Okay, here is... Oh, I gotta get out of here because apparently I'm choking to death.
Welcome aboard UEES Warhammer. As part of this year's Invictus celebrations, I'd like to invite you to take a look around and get an up-close look at an active military vessel. Some of the actual crew members have graciously volunteered their time to explain what life is like aboard the ship. I would like to remind you that the entire ship is not available for exploration, so please be respectful of unauthorized areas. Thank you, and enjoy your visit.
Why, thank you, sir. We've got the military folk giving us the remarks here. Let's see, we got a diagram on here? No, but we do have the timer on here, so we know that we still have an hour and 15 minutes to do a complete tour, or at least as complete as we're going to be allowed to. And we have decent signage in here. We've got directions to the mess hall, directions to the cargo.
Please vacate the area. Thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome aboard UEES Warhammer. As part of this year's Invictus celebration,
Let's see, we do have a couple different ways around here.
For your safety, please vacate.
Let's see what's over here.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Escape pods and turret in this direction. Well, that's one of the turrets, obviously. I wonder if I can get on board the turret. I'm almost certain I can't pull the trigger. Do I want to do it? No, I cannot actually shoot anything. Oh. No, I cannot actually shoot anything, although I do have the gun turrets spinning around, so... So I do have... You do get a chance to get on board the turret, of, or at least one turret, of the Javelin. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the turret now because, you know, it's not fair to hog seats here. Oh, that was kind of fun. Let's keep going down the way here. We've got, I guess this is one of the escape pods. Can't actually open it up. People hogging the area. This is considered B deck.
But when we aren't in combat, I strive to keep my team sharp by running through engagement drills and simulated encounters. Now, the Javelin comes standard with 15 turrets, 13 of which have embedded operators.
15
There are 6
turrets.
like the one you see here that run along the side of the ship, each of which is equipped with a pair of size 7 cannons for larger targets and a pair of size 4 Gatlings for smaller targets like fighters and even incoming missiles and torpedoes. We've got 4 more turrets on the bow of the ship, armed with size 7 energy cannons and 3
Server is
gunners
full.
on the underside.
Announce MSR and PTU.
All this firepower is equipped with a heavy payload of ordnance to make the Warhammer a real problem for all sizes of ship. Hence why we can be tasked to operate independently on patrols without support from the rest of the battle group. During the Xeno threat incursion, our gunners were responsible for the destruction of over 70 hostile elements and several capital ships.
We helped during Xeno Threat, thank you.
As a special treat, we've safetied this turret so you can get a taste of what it feels like to be a gunner. All the weapons have been deactivated, so don't worry about accidental discharge.
And I regret that because I was kind of hoping it would open fire.
Be respectful all the same.
I'm a horrible person.
Thank you, and have a great Invictus.
Sleeping quarters this way. Oh, what's this? A way down. What's down here? A security guard who is armed who does not want. Ooh, stop. Go away. Okay, well, you know what? I think I'll pay attention to the man with the big gun. Don't mock people with big guns. Isn't Nine Tails Lockdown supposed to happen during Invictus? Not to my awareness. I mean, who would notice? Everybody's going to be spending time fiddling around with the Invictus event and the show hall and the starships. What would be the point? Now we have a lot of sleeping quarters here.
Hi folks, welcome to the Warhammer. I am leading Starman Detmer, and this, as you've probably guessed, is one of the 2 barracks on the ship. And I know, you must be thrilled to see where Navy personnel sleep, and let me be the first to tell you, it's every bit as it
sounds like they plan to follow it at the end or after. I can see it during DrakeCon.
Arrangements as they have enough bunks for the full crew, which is amazing because it avoids situations known as hot bunking, where you swap out bunks with somebody on the opposite shift, and that is horrible. This one time on my old ship, I had to share with this guy who had just the worst smelling socks, and I'm talking, the military could have weaponized it kind of bad, and I had to try and fall asleep with that every day. So, yeah, after that, these bunks are a dream. And I'm just thinking that, actually, I don't think my CEO would like me talking about how bad hot bunking is. So, maybe just forget I said anything. Anyway, each one has special slots for personal effects, and is capable of sealing you up to give you a little privacy. People are always moving around the barracks. Sleeping schedules shift slightly too.
Oh, one of these punks here.
Full crew at a moment's notice if the ship enters heavy combat. So you're kind of always sleeping with one eye open. I mean, we get shorter sleep schedules if we are patrolling dangerous space. So, I mean, you already grab your sleep when you can. Sorry, I am rambling. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you. This is where we sleep. Not a whole lot of mystery to it. But I hope this has been enlightening. Please have a look around if you like, but don't touch anything in the bunks, as this is an active ship, and everything in here is the property of the crew. So, be cool.
I do like how they're giving a nice bit of personality with the people on board here. There are a lot of bunks here. Do any of these lockers open? I had an interaction thing here, but I wonder if it's for the bunk itself. Yeah, it was the. I wonder if you can log off in the Javelin and log back in somewhere else. Not hearing the game audio. Let me see. Let me check my labs and make sure I have all the audio turned on. I do. I did reduce the volume of the game audio because I thought that maybe that would help with my voice audio for your case. So that's quite possibly an aspect of things. Ah, the mess hall. And look, they've got vending machines and arcade games on board the military vessel. This probably isn't as big a surprise as you might think it might be. I've been to places that are...
Hello, everyone. My name's Lieutenant Horrigan, and as you can probably tell, this is Warhammer's mess hall. Definitely one of the more popular spaces on the ship. The mess has a fully...
won't let Cap log off into bed.
Operate on rotating shifts. We have a standard crew complement of 65 to 70, and meals need to be available at all times, so we have a culinary team always on duty, ready to lend support. Famous pilot Ari O'Reilly was once quoted as saying, if you ever want to take the temperature of a ship's crew, spend 20 minutes in their mess. Now this is one of the main social areas of the ship's where crew members from different departments can catch up in their own downtime. We also use the mess for social events like birthdays, holidays, and promotions, since it's able to hold so many people. Our skipper, Captain Medcalf, is a big believer in casual gatherings. It's in an effort to trench camaraderie. So we're in here pretty often. Now, you've probably noticed our games in the corner, so I'll just address
No kidding.
the question that everyone asks. Yes, it's pretty competitive. The XO currently has the score to beat. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to have a look around.
They have done a very nice job on these interiors, I gotta tell you. An upper deck. I could see how you could easily get lost in this place. Let's go back down. I'm not done with the mess hall yet. It looks like we're going to be... Oh, it looks like not a pool table. It looks like a table hockey. That's right. It's hundreds of years in the future, and table hockey still is a thing. Love the vending machines. We've got a lower area, too. Where does that lead? And yet another deck. Man, how many decks does this thing have? We should invest this now. No, it's still so popular. Well, you know, we're still on pledge week, so... Man, we got a lot of decks on this thing. I just keep going down and down. I think I finally hit the bottom. Where I can't see a damn thing, granted. No, go away. Message received, sir. Message received. I tell you, this is impressive. Cell 1 to 14. I think we found the brig. What? Wait. What's this? What's this? Somebody's asking me, do I want to become famous? I can buy followers, viewers. I can have it all. Oh, I've waited so long to have one of these. Oh well. Looks like I accidentally banned them. Oh well. Life's tragic. Nope, someone must be trying to get their friends into the server because they're screaming about 30Ks and probably lying through their teeth. So, and a scanning room, the engine room, which it seems to also be persona non grata for tourists. Let's go back up the next level, or so. And we're back in the mess hall. Looks like we're not going to go to the medical bay. Too bad, that would be pretty cool. Let's check the upper deck now. That's right, slow walk it. Oh, here we go. And, oh, they're going to let us go into the bridge? Are they really going to let us go into the bridge? We can see how it compares with the wreckage on Daymar. Oh, looks like we can't go to the... Oh, big shock, we can't go to the armory. Briefing room, and what's over the other side? It doesn't say. But guy with gun kind of implies to me that you can't go there, so I'm guessing it's not... That's probably the bridge. Oh, what's this? We have a display thing here? Oh, probably is. They've got their own memorial markers in here. Briefing room with lots of seats.
Welcome to the UEES Warhammer. This Javelin-class destroyer was originally built by Aegis Dynamics and has been in active service since 2832. Launching under the command of Captain Omar Singh, the ship initially served as a combat support vessel in the 2nd Fleet, 6th Battle Group, a posting that put it close to the Vandal front. The Warhammer saw action during the fall of Caliban in 2884, where it protected retreating civilian and naval forces when the system ultimately fell, earning a ribbon for valor in the process. For the next several decades, the Warhammer transitioned between fleets in a variety of support and patrol positions, even participating in the UEE push to reclaim the Nexus system in the 2930s. Most recently, the
I'm going to give the devs this. They've done a nice bit of presentation of this.
to repel the outlaw group known as Xenothreat from the Stanton system.
Hey, we were there.
Since then, the Warhammer has been placed in dry dock for repairs, but is heading back to active service once this year's Invictus festivities are concluded. The room you're currently seated in is the main briefing room for the entire ship. Based around a hollow volume built by Microtech, the crew gathers.
Okay, the bridge looks like it's another level up.
Strategies to repair schedules. The Marine detail assigned to this ship also uses this room to plan out their boarding actions or outline combat strategies. This room has even acted as a venue for off-duty activities, such as vid screenings or sporting event parties.
How about king-sized air hockey?
You'll take the opportunity to explore the ship and get an up-close look at one of the vanguards of order. On behalf of Captain Metcalf and the rest of the crew, I want to wish you a fantastic Invictus. I hope we see you next year.
That's great.
Hello, and welcome to the UEES.
That is pretty cool.
This javelin
Let's see what's through this door. Or is this the same way we came in? Well, it doesn't look like the same way, so... I mean, I guess it's a symmetrical layout, so it's going to be similar, but... Oh, that says armory, so maybe we did, Let's try the other side. No, they have two armories. They have two armories. Okay, was there anything else we missed up here? I don't think we missed anything up here. So... Down, 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 doobie down, back to our air hockey table. Go through the red door. And what have... Oh, more crew quarters. I think we've chatted with this guy already. Oh, maybe not. Another door. Dare I walk through? A stairway to up. Guarded stairway. Can't go down that way. Oh, we're back to the escape pods and turrets over here. I don't think we've checked out the cargo area. And apparently we're not going to be cargo area because they've got sealed off with plastic of a maintenance zone. Man, I've seen this sort of thing before. I was really hoping to check out the cargo area. Maybe on the other side. Elevator. Okay, let's see what's on the other side of here.
Alright, let's settle down. My name's Lieutenant Commander.
I guess I can't actually open the elevator.
Aboard the Warhammer. That means I'm in charge of coordinating fire between our
I found the one door that doesn't open on its own.
in order to maximize combat effectiveness. But when we aren't in combat,
And we are up down there. I think we may have hit just about all the major locations here. Another set of quarters. I was hoping to see what the cargo deck looked like, but I guess the cargo deck is more or less no good.
UEES Warhammer. As part of this year's Invictus celebrations, I'd like to invite you to take a look around and get an up-close look at an active...
Yep. Still, this was a pretty impressive ship. And it seems that the party just cannot, of course that might have been Cap leaving the ship. So that seems to be the Aegis Javelin. That's a pretty impressive ship. Even with the limited amount of areas we could see, and as we were able to see, limited is really the wrong word because it was still a decent amount. I am impressed. I am impressed. Javelin is one of the ships you can pledge for during Invictus. It is a high-end pledge. So, don't be stupid. That's the short version. You want to make sure that if you're going to do something like that, you really, really mean it. It's also a limited hull, so you'll be competing with a bunch of other people for the exact same thing. And that feels like a great place to end the stream. We are past the 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern hour, so I think we've had a pretty good tour of the Invictus Hall. We've had a chance to check out the Bengal carrier up close, and we've taken a tour of the Aegis Javelin. Next week, I will return once more to our stream. It will be at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It will be DrakeCon, where I will suffer so you don't have to check out the offerings by Drake Interplanetary and see perhaps if there's anything else going on. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, whether you're watching it live or if you're catching it sometime afterwards. I will also be streaming later this week on Wednesday. I stream Star Trek Online at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I will be resuming my normal game on there as opposed to the challenge that I've been inflicting upon myself and others. Now, I'm going to do something a little unusual now. I'm going to throw a raid here over to a game that is not Star Citizen. Drake forever. Keep on thinking that. Well, then again, it will be forever because, it's like cockroaches. They never die. I'm going to be throwing the raid over to a different streamer doing a different game. He goes by Villainous Davpa, and he will be running City of Heroes, or perhaps more appropriately for him, City of Villains. He is doing a 24-hour stream today, and he's doing the stuff for charity, specifically St. Jude's Hospital. So I'm going to kind of give him a shout out there by rating him, and maybe you can say hello, let him know that Korth sent you. Otherwise, again, thank you all very much. I will see you next time, whether it's for Wednesday night Star Trek or next Saturday's Star Citizen. This is Korth Landwalker, signing off.